Asthma is a condition which leads to airway variability in the diameter. So it leads to spastic airways, and the air tubes below our larynx, the voice box, that is trachea, and it divides into bronchi, and then subdivision like the inverted tree. It keeps dividing 6 to 13 times and becomes very narrow. Those tubes becomes very narrow. They are spastic. So the spasm leads to at times narrowing, at times they open up. So it is called the atopy of asthma, in which there is a strong allergic phenomena. It starts as an allergy, but later on a chronic process of inflammation develops in asthma. And later on, the disease may not just remain allergic or atopic. It may behave like an inflammatory disease, whereby there may be a permanent narrowing of the air tubes. Narrowing of the air tubes means somebody who breathes in air in and out has to breathe through narrow tubes. So that leads to difficulty in breathing, that leads to whistling or wheezing sounds in the chest, difficulty in breathing at rest, or when you walk, it worsens. So that is what is asthma. Of course, additional things are, there is some cough which gets generated because it is the spasticity of the airways, the inflammation inside which I just mentioned, and also excess mucus production in the air tubes. So when there is excess mucus production, then the cough reflex actually brings the mucus out. So these are the things that happen in asthma. And how it is caused. Pollens are probably the most common offenders for a seasonal asthma, which leads to a higher number of asthmatics during the months of in North India, April and May, and in October, November, and sometimes in the typical winter season. But asthma can continue for the entire year with ups and downs in certain times of the year, as I mentioned. Dust, smoke, pollution, they all aggravate asthma. House dust mite, there is a very small organism which the feces of that mite in the beds in our household, that gets evaporated, and that smell, we can't even feel that smell, but we inhale that can also aggravate asthma or cause asthma. So there are lots of things which of course can be attributed in aggravating asthma, but for example, even the strong smells, perfume, your paints, if some construction work is going on, even the kitchen smells, all these things can aggravate asthma. But what causes asthma is a primarily allergic reaction in the lungs.